I've always wanted to have a podcast, but I've never launched anything, and I guess now's the time. I feel the need to talk and I feel the need to share, and maybe we can connect and relate to one another. Welcome to Cold Hands, Warm Heart. Today's episode, we're going to talk about finding yourself back. That means that you've lost yourself. This past few months, I have been experiencing a lot of different adventures, but also relationships. Not romantic though. It's like friendship or like people that you could work with or people that you see sometimes, but often enough that they still affect you. But also, I know it's something that I have to work on because people affect me. I get attached to people, and when I do, I care so much about them that I tend to give them too much power. So their mood could affect me, their behavior could affect me. I don't know if it's normal because I feel like it's not so normal. I also experienced one of the biggest burnout. That happened in July, but the downfall was through the entire year, and I've seen it coming. But I chose to try it harder because I thought that if I still go on, it will go away and I will just like forget about it or like ignore it somehow. But obviously, I was hiding for so long and I was keeping for myself so many things that I exploded. And it was really, really hard. I didn't know who I was because it affected my relationship with dance and with some little things that I wanted in my career. So I was like, if I don't have dance or if I don't sing, who am I? And that was really hard for me to know because also at that time I felt like all my friends, they were busy, but also we'll talk about that later, but I didn't want to be a burden to them. I am very sensitive, like hyper, super sensitive, and I feel every emotions time 10,000s, and it's really tiring. It's exhausting. Sometimes I wish I was not feeling so much because I feel like in the society that we're in, it's not, we don't have time for that and we don't care about people that feels like that. But this is how I feel. It's like I can't hide it. When I'm angry, you will see it. I am not so often angry, but when I am angry, you will see it. When I am upset, you will see it. Everything is readable on my face and body language. I don't know how to pretend. I don't know how to hide. But I know how to not talk, which sometimes can be annoying because people would see me very closed and like I won't talk to anyone. But being in a room, you will still feel the energy that is negative somehow. Does that make sense? So I take some time to talk. It's just because I don't trust people. I don't trust them, and I only have like 2 or 3 people that I trust in my life. So the truth of the matter is, let's get focused a minute. The burnout was very awful. It really, I was down. I was crying every day. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what was my purpose on this planet. I was like, what am I doing here? Why am I still here? Because I have nothing to add to this, whatever we're in, and I don't have what it takes, and I don't have anything. Everything that I've done in my life has been showing me that I am not enough and I am not worth it and whatever and blah blah blah. So I was like, what's the point? So that was dark. That was dark, that was hard, that was deep, that was, yeah. I decided to take a solo trip for like maybe 3 or 4 days, I don't remember. And guys, that was really hard because I was like, maybe if I go away, I will think about something new and I don't know, it's gonna help me or whatever. It did not. But okay, so it helped, but not in the way that I expected. It helped me because I was 100% focusing on myself, and that was a time for me to think about everything. But it was hard because I was thinking about everything. I went to India for like a month and a half for a dance contract that really turned out to be the worst experience of my entire life. That was the worst thing that happened to me in terms of like career. I thought it would give me so much experience on my dance and it would like make me work with some professional and it would be so nice, whatever. It was not. India really put me down. That was crazy. That was really wild. This trip was the worst. I spent so much money for like the worst. I was crying at the airport. I was like, I want to be home. I want to see my mom. I want to be with my cats. I want to be home. Let's not get angry about that. But what I want to say about India is that it made me, I want to say experience again. I'm saying experiencing a lot this time. I'm sorry. But it made me go through so much anger. I have never been so angry against everyone. I was angry at the world. I was angry at everyone. I was like, why are they treating me like that? Why are they treating women like that? Why are we like as dancer? Why are we treated like that? What is happening in this country? And I felt like my friends didn't understand because when I was telling them I'm having the worst time and like I'm not enjoying myself right now and it's like we have that is going wrong and that and that and that and they were like, yeah, but like be strong and still go on because you know the money. Well, I didn't get paid. I'm still waiting on my money. So anyway, my friends were like, yeah, but just take your money and then you could go to maybe Los Angeles or whatever. And I was like, yeah, of course. I mean, I know that you want me to take the experience because that's what I came for. But I'm neither having the money or the experience. So, and it's destroying me and my mental health. I was doing panic attacks that I didn't have in many months because I did some mistakes. I talked about some people in a bad way because I was angry. And I was not talking about them like out of nowhere. It's because they did something to me. But the way that I reacted, that was not okay. Because the way that I talked about some people, that was mean. I was not insulting them. I was just talking bad and I never do that. So it was really new for me and it was not pleasant. I was really not okay. Like I was not myself. But that being said, India made me go through a lot of anger. Burnout made me go through a lot of frustration and I was not angry when I was in burnout. I was kind of empty because I was like, I feel like I felt every emotions and I don't know how to feel right now because I don't know who I am. So I don't know, am I worth it? Am I like, should I still be here? That was a different mood. But India, oh my god. So, after India, I decided to go to Los Angeles because Los Angeles is a space where I feel myself at 110%. It's a space where I feel seen, and it's a space where I feel like I can try even harder and discover myself even more and work on myself more and so on. It was amazing. I loved it. And I really needed it. It's always like I talked about that to my therapist and she was like, "Well, I feel like LA is like a retreat for you." And I was like, yes, because every time I feel bad and I have the opportunity to go to LA because I can go to LA every month, unfortunately. But when I have the money and the opportunity to go to LA, I am so thrilled and I am so happy. And when I'm there, I'm so in love with the city, with the people. But when I'm there, I feel like I can focus on myself. I can focus on my dance. It's like everything that matters to me, I can do it in LA. When I feel like when I'm in France, I have to think about so many things and make sure that I can make the money and make sure that I can live and everything. The relationship that I had that hurted me made me go through the burnout. It was not the only reason, obviously. I think it was a lot of everything that I was doing, right or wrong. The burnout made me want to try new things. So I went to India. It was the worst experience. And then I experienced LA. I went from who am I to I think this is who I want to be. And so I have to work hard to be that person because I don't want to go back to how I've been in India. I don't ever want to be like that again. Like that was I felt like I had like a devil on my shoulder, but the devil actually took like possession of my body. I want to be able to when people hurt me, I want to be able to respond or to react in a kind way and still be in perfect harmony with myself. I also feel like I want people to not affect me as much as they do. It's not their fault though, it's mine. It's because I give them so much space in my life and in my heart that it matters to me and they matter to me and I care about them. But I have to lower it down a lot. When I went through the burnout, I was listening to a lot of podcasts. I was listening to some TED Talks because I like to relate to like scientific facts. I'm like, okay, this is how my brain feel right now. I want to know why, how, what can I do? Like what is causing that and everything. So I try to listen to some like documentaries and everything. I deleted all my socials. Yay! Everyone does that. You. Oh my god, you're so brand new. It's like everyone do it, but I've never done it before. I never gotten to a point where I was like, I can't see social media anymore, but I was like, I cannot see anyone. I don't want to see people's life, and they're not inspiring me right now. They make me feel down because I was comparing myself. I was like, no, I can do it. I don't want to see your life. I don't want to pretend like everything's okay. I'm not going to post anyway. I might as well delete all my social. And actually, when I came back into it, I was like, oh, I've seen the social into a like through another eye, much more supportive, and I was seeing things better because I was comparing myself less, and I was like, oh my god, they're doing that, that's so great, I'm so happy for them. And I was not trying to be like, great, they're doing another amazing thing and I'm still a piece of shit. Like, I still have nothing in my life. Great. Awesome. I did write a lot on my journal at that time because I felt like I needed to talk, and I didn't have my therapist at that time. I didn't want to talk too much to my friend because I was getting the same things over and over because I was saying the same things over and over, but it's just that I couldn't get over it. I was like, I need to say it and say it again and say it again, and I'm sorry, but I'm repeating myself, but I still feel that way, and what this person did still hurts me that way, and that experience still hurts me that way. So I was like constantly like overthinking, but also like replaying everything over and over and over again. That's also, I think, something that made me go so down into the burnout. It's because I was not able to get over it, like for real. Because this is something I admire about some people and some of my friends. It's like when something happens to them and it's like upsetting or frustrating, or it's like kind of mean towards them, they are able to just be like, okay, whatever. And they just move on. And they'll be like, yeah, whatever, it happened. I can't do anything about it. I'm like, how do you do that? I'm like, how do you get over it? And how do you move on? Because I feel like I have so much to say, but also nothing. And also, I feel like I can move on with my life because this happened and it's bad. And that means that something is something is not okay. Does that make sense? If I don't solve this, then I can move on because it has to be like the process, but it's not. This is one of the things that I've learned through this burnout. I was like, I have to move on faster over things that affects me because I'm the only one that is suffering from it. The other person, they don't care. And like, I'm suffering for what? For who? You know? I was also one of the things that helped me again was trying new things, finding new hobbies, trying to meet some new people. Oh my god, I love to meet new people. It's like people are so interesting, and I love when they talk about like things that they're passionate about. I love it. And I would talk to my friends, but honestly, when I was like doing the solo trip to Mallorca, I did not talk to anyone. They knew why I was in a burnout. I think they knew it before me, honestly. Every time I was telling them about my state of mind and like how my life was going and everything, they were like, "You're this close to the burnout. You need to stop everything. You need to stop working with that person. You need to stop doing that for that person. You need to think about yourself first because you're thinking about everyone but yourself." As a perfectionist, you want to do everything, but nothing is perfect. I don't think I'm perfect at all. I don't think I'm even close to being perfect, but I'll keep trying. I think what was hurting me was that I felt like I was giving so much of me and my time and my money and my energy and everything and my space and my trust, and that I didn't feel like anything was enough. And I was like, at what point is this gonna be enough? Because I'm already giving you everything. So what can I do? When I was in Mallorca and I was on the beach, I was taking like my journal and I was writing every question that I had. So I was like, who am I? Why do I love dance? Why do I want to keep dancing? Is dance something for me? Like every questions that I would possibly get in my mind, I would write them down. And every day I was trying to get an answer to them. I'm not saying I did answer to all of them. I don't think I did. I think some of them are gonna take sometimes to get some answers, but at least I have a purpose in my mind. I don't know how to explain that. It's just like when people ask, "But why do you dance?" For a moment, for a year, I was like, because I've always been doing that, okay? And you could stop. You could stop. I remember having someone asking me this question. They were like, "But are you dancing because you love it, or are you dancing because it's just a habit and it's just like in your routine?" And I was like, and for a moment, right before the burnout, I was like, maybe it's just because it's in my routine. Maybe I don't love it anymore. That was so sad for me because I was like, I spend so much money for my dance because I did some dance schools, and for all the workshop that I did, for every like my entire life has been around dance since I was 4. And as soon as I was 18, it got worse. And I remember thinking about that a lot. And I was like, well, maybe they're right. It's just because it's in my routine. So I started to dance less. I started to feel disgust about dance. I was like, oh, I can't. I can't. It's all about dance. I don't want to do it anymore. I hate it. I was getting to a point where I didn't dance anymore, and when I was still forcing myself to take some classes because I've always been told about discipline. It's like people that go to the gym, you know? Sometimes they don't want to go, but they still do it because they know that the results will be there and that you have to still do it whatever you are feeling right now. You have to go to your session. And motivation will only get you so far, but discipline is the key. So I was still going to dance classes, but I was like doing the class, but I didn't want it. And once again, I don't know how to fake, I don't know how to pretend. So you would see on my face and my body and my dance. What am I doing here? I'm taking someone's spot, maybe someone that is way more passionate than I am. I should leave. And then the summer break happened, so that was the perfect timing. I was still trying to go to class, but I felt disgust. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. And I was crying every time because I was like, I suck anyway. I can't do it. I used to be dancing around all the time, doing moves. Whatever I would like cook something, I would dance. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a dancer thing. It's like we would move everywhere, anytime. It's like all the time dance. Dance, 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 dance. It's like dance and breathing is the same shit. And then at that point, right before the burnout, I was starting to not do those things anymore. And I was like, what is happening? Because I am not dancing anymore and I don't want to dance anymore. That is scary. Maybe I just need a break, but maybe it's not gonna be forever. But also, when I started to take a break, I was like, I'm so scared that this is gonna be forever. Maybe, like, what if this is forever and I really don't love dance anymore? Oh my god, I was so scared. I was like, what if I never come back to who I was before? And like, if I don't ever come back to the love I have for dance? I don't feel like dancing, but I still was happy to be around dance. No sense. I told my feelings to my dance teacher, and she was like, well, maybe you should just stop and take a break. And she said, maybe it's not dance for you, maybe it's something else. And when she said that, I was like, that really hurted me. In my head, I was like, aren't you supposed to like help me go through it or something? She was like, yeah, but maybe it's not for you. Like maybe it's something else. And I know that she didn't mean it in the bad way, and she only wanted to like give me some options, because it could happen to someone and that person will probably stop dance forever, and so you have to prepare those options. Does that make sense? So I was like, I know she doesn't mean that in that way, but also that's not what I want to hear right now. I didn't feel bad about not dancing, and that is something that also like scared me again, because I was like, okay, I'm not dancing and I'm not feeling guilty not dancing, and I feel good not dancing, because I was getting to that point. I was like, oh, I can just watch people. Oh my god, when did we reach that point? Because that's not what I want. And then in August, I was working with some teenagers, but it had nothing to do with dance. So I was not dancing for the entire month. So I was not dancing for like almost 2 months, which never happened in my life. And when I say not dancing, it's just like no, not even one move. Been trying to think about things that I could possibly have that are not dance. I have nothing. So what am I supposed to do? Because I don't want to dance right now, and I don't have anything that I care about right now. So one of my best friend, she was like, well, I think I want to go to LA. So we organized a little trip to LA last minute, and I was like, I think this is gonna help me fall in love again with dance. That was her first time in LA, and I think it was one of my favorite time in LA. And it was my third time in LA. And I was so happy to share that with her. And I was so happy that she was falling in love with the city as much as I am. It was so fun. We have so many story times. And I was like, okay, I need to take some dance classes, because that is going to be my answer. If I take some classes in LA and I still feel the same, then we have to worry for real, like even more. But I was like, okay, let's dig it in and try and take a class. And the first class that I took was with a dancer that I absolutely love, and that I took some of her class before. And I was like, I was so excited to go back to dance. I was like, oh, I'm so happy I'm gonna see that person, and I'm so happy I'm gonna be in class. And I was like, oh, I didn't feel that way in a while. So that was reassuring me. And then after the class, I was like, thank God. So I remember taking the class, and I was not thinking. I was like, okay, take the class. We'll see after. And I was like, okay, I enjoyed it. I had fun. And I was excited to go. Second class, I was still excited to go. And it was a hard class. But I was like, I'm so happy. And then classes went by. And at the end of the trip, I was like, I am forever grateful to Los Angeles and to the people in there, because they brought my fire back and they helped me bring that back. But also, I feel like the fire about my passion for dance has been transformed. I feel like it's evolving, and that's good. And I'm so happy that I was able to go to LA and to have my answer, which is I don't want to stop dancing. I always want to be around dance forever. I love dance. And I love seeing people being so thrilled about dance and being so into it in a room full of like 100 people. We are all here because we love the teacher and we love dance and we want to share and we want to express. And I feel it, and it's crazy and I love it. Finding yourself back. I think you need to put yourself into uncomfortable situations, and you need to ask yourself the questions, and you need to take the time to actually answer those questions and to put some actions to find the answers. Also, I'm not trying to say that you have to go to LA. Absolutely not. I'm saying that you have to go to a place, into an environment that makes you feel powerful. Yeah, I was so grateful to all the teachers because they made me feel seen, and they made me feel like I mattered, and they were always pushing to be the best. I enjoy talking to you guys, or talking to myself. And I will see you soon for the second episode. And I also want to get some guests soon. We'll see how it goes. I'm grateful for dance. I'm grateful for LA. Even though I don't have anything, like everything I want right now, I know that I love dance, and I know that dance is part of me in my life. And I hope it stays like that forever. Yeah. Okay, gotta go. Bye. Love you.
I really like what he talked about, right? Thank you. All right. Yeah.